Hey Miyu, so good morning. You're gonna be having, continuation of stage 6, right? Full stage revision. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, let's start our day with Callan. Okay, so this is a very good breakfast. Yes, and because it's breakfast time, let's ask this question. What do we employ to cut bread? What do we employ to cut bread? We employ a knife to cut bread. Yeah, what do we call a person who employs somebody to work for them? What do we call a person who employs somebody to work for them? We call a person who employs somebody to work for them and employer. Yeah, and what do we call the person who works for them? And what do we call the person who works for them? We call the person who works for them an employee. Yep, that's correct. And there are a lot of machines in a factory. Are there a lot of machines in a factory? Yes, there are a lot of machines in a factory. Yep, so what do we use a cash machine for? What do we use a cash machine for? We use a cash machine for what? For taking money out of the bank quickly. Out of the bank quickly and easily. Yep. What could happen if you accidentally put a red sock in a washing machine with white clothes? Again, what could happen if you accidentally put a red sock in a washing machine with white clothes? If I accidentally put a red sock in a washing machine with white clothes, I could get pink clothes.
Nice.
My mama will be angry. I could get slapped. My mom turned like, you're not careful. I think I had it before with your t-shirt.
Oh yeah, you did.
I'm sorry for the sorry me. Okay, another. I remember. So what are the 3 fronts of life? What are the 3 fronts of life?
The 3 fronts of fly
are fly,
flew, flown.
Yep, flown.
Flown.
Okay, another. Have you ever flown in a plane? Have you ever flown in a plane? Yes. I've flown in a plane. In a plane. Yep, so are you good at drawing pictures? Are you good at drawing pictures? Yes, no? No, I'm not good at drawing pictures. Yeah, wrong question. It should be, are you good at copying pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, another. What do you mean by rough drawing? What do we mean by a rough drawing? By a rough drawing, we mean a very simple drawing. Yeah, what is the easiest way to draw out cash? What is the easiest way to draw out cash? The easiest way to draw out cash is to use a bank card in a cash machine. Yep. So what does to draw the curtains mean? Again, what does to draw the curtains mean? To draw the curtains means to pull them open or closed. Okay, let's move down here. You know, when your eyes are like the page. Another. How do you form the perfect continuous tenses? How do we form the perfect continuous tenses? We form the perfect continuous tenses. Perfect continuous tenses by using the verb have, the word been, and the present participle of the main verb. Give examples. I have been studying for 2 hours. Yep, an example. Another, what do we use the present perfect continuous? When do we use the present perfect continuous? We use the present perfect continuous to say how long an action has been in progress so far. Yep, so good example. Give an example. I have been living in this house for 6 months so far. Yep, so what do we use the past perfect continuous? What do we use the past perfect continuous? We use the past perfect continuous to communicate the duration of an action up to a particular point in the past. Give an example. I had been living in this house for 1 month when I bought my new bed. Yep, so what do we use the future perfect continuous? What do we use the future perfect continuous? We use the future perfect continuous to communicate the duration of an action. Duration of an action up to a particular point in the future. Give an example. I will have been living in this house for 8 months. At 8 months at the end of this year. Yep, how long had you been sitting in that room for when I came in? I had been sitting in this room for about
an hour.
When you came
in.
Yep. Since when have you been studying English? Since when have you been studying English? I've been studying English
since I was 3 years old.
Wow, so nice. Me when I was 1 month old. 1 month old. Okay, another. So how long will you have been living in that place for when this year ends? 2021. So how long will you have been living in that place for when this year ends? I'll have been living in this place
for about
how long?
8 years.
When this year ends. Since when? Since
2000 and when?
Minus 8. 13. Since mathematics. Suddenly, oh my gosh. Yeah, automatic. Okay, another. What is the difference between saying, I have been living here for 2 months and I have lived here for 2 months? Again, what is the difference between saying, I have been living here for 2 months and I have lived here for 2 months? There is no important difference between saying, I have been living here for 2 months and I have lived here for
2 months.
2 months. Yep. Who was the last ruler of your country? Who was the last ruler of your country? The last ruler.
Ruler.
The last ruler
of my country
was Mr. Abe. Hi, Mr. Abe. Yeah, could you draw a completely straight line without the help of a ruler? Again, could you draw a completely straight line without the help of a ruler? No, I couldn't draw a completely straight line without the help of a ruler. I can help you. A ruler. Straight, right? Okay, another. Generally speaking, what is the difference between Earth and world? Generally speaking, what is the difference between Earth and world? Generally speaking, the difference between Earth and world is that we use the word Earth in the astronomical sense, and world in the geographical sense. Yeah, if you're really good at math, how far is the Earth from the Sun? How far is the Earth from the Sun? The Earth's about. How far? It's okay, I can help you. 93 million miles.
93 million miles from the sun.
Yeah, I just studied it. And I'm a scientist. Darn. Okay, what's mud? Mud's a mixture of earth and water. Yep. By what means can we draw a straight line? We can draw a straight line by means of a pen. Means of a pen. Or a pencil and a ruler. Yep. So by what means do you come to school? An example, by what means do you come to school? I come to school by
train. Bus?
Train. Okay, by bus, by train.
On foot, etc.
We forgot bicycle. I like bicycle too. Okay, another. Would you rather have your own means of transport, Miyu, than use public transport? If only. So would you rather have your own means of transport than use public transport? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, I'd rather have my own means of transport than use public transport. Why? Because it's what? It's more convenient. Yes, I think so. If no traffic, right? No lining. Another. As a means of making money, what would you say was the best way? As a means of making money, what would you say was the best way? As a means of making money, I'd say the best way was what?
To work harder and harder and harder.
Endless, guys. Harder and harder. Okay, another. What about this one? What is the best way to maintain a good figure? Okay, let me ask you. What is the best way to maintain a good figure? The best way to maintain a good figure is
to exercise. And to eat vegetables.
Do you?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I should, not you should. Why not?
I like snacks,
Good thing you put snack because you say I likes. I likes. Snakes. Okay, safe. Okay, another. Who do you think was the greatest figure in history? Who do you think was the greatest figure in history? I think Einstein
was
the greatest figure.
Greatest figure.
Greatest figure in.
Huh?
Greatest
figure in history.
Yep, another. How many figures are there in the number of your house? Mine is 3. What about you? How many figures are there in the number of your house? There are.
2.
How many figures? 2 figures in the
number
of my house. 1 for me, 1 for you, too. What kind of figure am I drawing in the air with my finger? What kind of figure am I drawing in the air with my finger? You're drawing
a circle
in the air
with your finger.
Is it a perfect circle? Maybe it's oval. Okay, another. Okay, so if a couple cannot have a child, what can they do? If a couple cannot have a child, what can they do? If a couple
can't have a
child, they can adopt one. I can have one. I will choose. I will choose. What's that menu? Okay, another. If you went to live in another country, do you think you would quickly adapt the way of living in another country or in that country? Again, if you went to live in another country, do you think you would quickly adapt the way of living in that country? Yes, no.
Not sure.
No. If I went to live in another country, I don't think
I'd quickly adopt.
I'd quickly adopt the way of living
in that country.
Why not? Because it's very difficult for me to adjust.
Difficult for me to adjust their cultures.
Living with other people.
Living with other people.
And
their cultures.
And it's very hot in the Philippines too. So if you come here, please bring your own fan. What do you mean own fan? Yeah, right? Okay, anyways, that's just an example, guys, right? Okay, so who do you think was the cruelest character in history? Okay, not now. Who do you think was the cruelest character in history? I think
you.
Excuse me, I'm millennial. Okay, maybe my answer, my me before. Okay, one example. Okay, me guys. I'm from the 15th century. Okay, I think you were the cruelest character in history. Yeah, I've already forgiven her, guys. I've been preparing for this for 15 years and so on. Okay, anyways, what's a college? A college is a kind of school. Or part of a university. Yep. So this is a very good one. Another. If we put a piece of wood or paper into a flame, what happens to it? Again, if we put a piece of wood or paper into a flame, what happens to it? If we put a piece of wood or paper, wood or paper into a flame, it burns. Another. What are the 3 forms of run? What 3 forms of run? The 3 forms of run.
3 forms of run
are
run.
What's the furthest you've ever run? What's the furthest you've ever run? The furthest I've ever
run
is 1 meter.
1 meter.
Toilet. Yeah, guys. She doesn't like standing up, guys. I could get even. This one you could get even. What does the verb to grow mean? What does the verb to grow mean? And the verb to grow means what in Japanese?
Yeah. What is it?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Remember now.
Yeah. Because I only know Shichi the dog. Shichi, so cute. Another. So what are the 3 forms of grow? What are the 3 forms of grow? The 3 forms of grow are
grown.
Yep. At about what age does the average person stop growing physically? At about what age does the average person stop growing physically? The average
person
stops growing physically. At about
when is
generally speaking. In Japan. At about what age? 18, 19, 20? 18 years old.
I don't know.
I stopped growing when I was in 2nd grade. Yeah, I was the tallest in the first grade, and then second grade I didn't anymore grow. So sad. Yeah, it's okay. I grew big.
In a different way.
Okay, guys, next question. So we'll go to another history again. And if you grew tired, what do you do? If you grew tired, what do you do? If I grew
tired,
I go to bed
I
and
go
sleep,
to bed and sleep.
or sit down
Or
and
sit
rest.
down and rest.
Yeah, what kind of food is grow most of all in that part? Or let's just, for example, not your country, this world. Again, what kind of food is grow most of all in this part of the world? The kind of
The
food
kind of food
that's grown
that
most of
grow
all.
most of all.
That grown
That
most of all.
most of all.
That's
That's
grown most
grown
of all
most of all.
in this part of
In
the
this
world
part of the
is
world is
rice, corn, which one? Choose
rice.
rice. Okay, another. In Japanese, again, what does the word matter mean? Like solid, liquid, or gas. So, what does the word matter mean? The word
The
matter
word
means.
matter means. What is it?
How do you say?
Monda?
In Japanese.
In Japanese.
Okay, so what kind of matter is this book made of? What kind of matter is this book made of? That book's made of paper.
That book's made of paper.
Yep, that's correct. In my mind, still Monday. Okay, another. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Australian. What does the word matter mean? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Good day, mate. Again, do you think that the possibility of another world war is a serious matter? Again, do you think that the possibility of another world war is a serious matter? Yes, I think that the possibility of another world war is a serious
matter.
Are you interested in political matters? Are you interested in political matters? Yes, no? No, I'm not interested
in
political matters. Say it. Another. Let's see what they would expect. How long do you expect to continue living in the place where you live now? Again, how long do you expect to continue living in the place where you live now? I expect to continue living
in the place now.
Where I live now. For about 20 years. It's only an example. Again, another. So in a Callan Method lesson, Miyu, do you expect the teacher to correct the student's mistakes? In a Callan Method lesson, do you expect the teacher to correct the student's mistakes? Yes, in a Callan Method lesson.
In a Callan Method lesson,
I expect the teacher to correct the student's mistakes. Yep. What do we use the tail question? What do we use the tail question? We use a tail question. When we believe something is true. You're loading? Hello.
Slow.
Hello. Yeah. When we believe something is true.
When we believe something is true.
And we want somebody to confirm that we are right. I am slow, guys, there. Right?
No, you're okay here.
Maybe
just you.
I see. No, I'm okay here. Actually. Yeah, you know what I mean, guys. The system always says teacher's fault. You can relate. Okay, anyways. How do you form a tail question? We form a tail question by repeating the first
auxiliary verb
from the main part of the sentence and putting it in
question form.
Putting it in question form. Another, give me an example. Let's give me examples. He is going to go out
tonight.
Isn't he?
Isn't he?
Yep, that's correct. Isn't he? Wow. Again, right now I'll say something new and I want you to repeat it and add a tail question, okay? Remember that if the main part of the sentence is positive, of course the tail question is negative and vice versa, right? Okay, let's start. He is a young man.
He's a young man, isn't he?
Yep, he isn't a young man. He isn't a young man.
Is he?
Is he? Again, you've got a very nice kitchen. Haven't you? Haven't you? You haven't got a very nice kitchen. You haven't got a very nice kitchen. You haven't got a very nice kitchen.
You haven't got a very nice kitchen.
Have you?
Have you?
You know, like you can sing, you can sing, you can sing.
You can sing. Can't you?
You can sing. You can sing. You can sing.
Can
you? Yeah, I cannot sing, guys. Yeah, she can. I know. Honest. Okay, he'll be afraid. He'll be afraid. He'll be afraid.
He'll be afraid.
Won't he?
Won't he?
Yep, another. He won't be afraid. He won't be afraid. He won't be afraid.
He won't be afraid. Will he?
Yep, they would be hungry. They would be hungry. They would be hungry.
They would be hungry. Wouldn't he? They.
Wouldn't they?
Wouldn't they?
It's like, you didn't hear that, guys. Again, no, they wouldn't be hungry. They wouldn't be hungry. They wouldn't be hungry.
Would they?
Yes, would they? Let's move down. Another. When there is no auxiliary verb Miyu in the main part of the sentence, which verb do we use in the tail question? Again, when there is no auxiliary verb in the main part of the sentence, which verb do we use in the tail question? When there is no auxiliary verb.
When there is no auxiliary verb
in the main part of the sentence, we use
do
in the tail question. Yep, give me examples. They come every Thursday. Don't they? Yep. Don't they? They do. Again, if you had the right by law, Miyu, to do whatever you wished, what did you do? If you had the right by law to do whatever you wished, what did you do? If I had the right by law. By law. To do whatever I wished. To do whatever I wish. I'd what?
What do you want to do?
I'd want to see you without passport.
Yay!
How about you? I'd wish to visit you with a passport. What about you?
Me too.
You too. She's really like clapping. She really likes clapping, guys. Oh my god. Again, he's like, I'd wish me too, huh?
You know what I mean.
Okay, guys, she and I and you guys know what she meant for that. Okay, another. Do newspapers have the legal right to print stars that aren't true? Do newspapers have the legal right to print stars that aren't true? No, newspapers don't have the legal right to print stars that aren't true. You will do the right legal right. Yeah, I'm not yet done. Another. What is the difference between the words on and onto? What is the difference between the words on and onto? The difference between the words on and onto is that we can use the word on for things that are moving or still. Whereas we can use the word onto only for things that are moving. Yes, onto. Right? Another. Do you think you could jump onto the table with both your feet together? Do you think you could jump onto the table with both your feet together? Yes, I think I could jump onto the table with both my feet together. She's really tall, guys. She's a basketball woman, player. Another. So, have you ever tried to do something like that? Yes, I've tried to do something like that. No choice. Do you know how to tie a tie? Yes. No? I know how to tie a tie. Yep. She just cannot have, guys, answer. Only me to win. It's okay. Only ask no. And the past were the government, or was the government of the country generally elected by the people? Again, the past was the government of the country generally elected by the people. No, in the past. No, in the past, the government of a country.
The government of a country.
Yeah.